It is the journey, not the destination. And this is the mantra I hold close to my heart when I created this channel. There is nothing which encapsulates this sentiment more than a train journey. And this is why, despite having the option of multiple flights flying between Kuala Lumpur and Penang, departing every other minute, we have chosen to take the train. It's time to sit back and soak in the journey for what it is. A trip which is unrushed, tranquil, and awash with the sights and sounds of fulfillment.
The bridge did that.
Yeah, that was before the bridge.
Step 1, wake up early, gonna rise with the sun. Step 2, get some good, some food in you. Step 3, think real hard about what you wanna be. Step 4, everybody just do your thing.
Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Wake up, today's gonna be a good day.
And good morning guys, welcome back to my video. I'm coming to you from KL Sentral, and this is the main railway station that is serving the city of Kuala Lumpur. It is a gigantic transportation hub, and you can take a train from here or bus to literally anywhere within Kuala Lumpur and Malaysia. So today we are getting on the ETS, which is the electric train network right here in Malaysia between Kuala Lumpur, and our final destination is in Penang. But we're only taking it all the way to Butterworth, I think, and then from there we'll find our own way onto the island in Penang. So without further ado, let's go see what the train services in Malaysia is all about. Let's do this.
Everybody just do your thing.
If you're new to my channel, my name's Ryan. Born and bred in Singapore, I now call Australia home. I travel lots because I love to fly and eat. So this travel series will focus on one of my favorite countries, Malaysia. We begin in Melbourne, where Malaysia Airlines takes us to Kuala Lumpur on their brand new Airbus A330-900neo. We begin eating almost immediately on arrival because night markets are just the best. We break the norm of flying to Penang, instead choosing to journey there by train. Definitely a welcome alternative, especially when you're not in a rush. Besides more night markets, Penang welcomes us with open arms as we walk into one of the most stunning colonial hotels in the region. Heading back to Kuala Lumpur, we get to fill our tummies even further as our stay continues, before we make the return journey back to Australia via Melbourne. Make sure you hit subscribe and the bell icon so you won't miss a single episode. Even better, become a member for early access to these videos. Whatever you do, thank you for your support. KL Sentral, opened in 2001, is an intermodal transportation hub which got its inspiration from similar train stations in Europe. It's not only an interchange for commuter suburban trains, but also intercity trains spanning across the length of peninsular Malaysia. The Airport Express train also begins and ends here, together with some airlines utilizing check-in facilities located within the same building. This rounds off what is an extremely convenient location, purpose-built to ease travel in an extremely crowded metropolis. KL Sentral held the title of Southeast Asia's largest railway station until 2021, when this title was taken by Sathani Klang Krungthep Aphiwat, otherwise known as Bang Su Grand Station in Bangkok, Thailand, which functions exactly like KL Sentral. Keretapi Tanah Melayu, or KTM, is the main rail operator on peninsular Malaysia. It has its roots dating back to the British colonial era, when the rail infrastructure was constructed. Today, although the organization has been corporatized, KTM remains a wholly owned subsidiary of the Malaysian government. Since its formation, trains were chugging along using coal, then diesel locomotives, And from 2010, the electrification of these tracks began to gradually take over. For many decades, KTM Intercity took charge, and it was the backbone of these long-distance services, which covered the length of the peninsula. At the time of writing, only the northern half of the West Coast line has been electrified, and this is the portion we're riding on. The southern extension of the line is planned to have services running to Johor Bahru by the end of 2025, and that extension will complete the rail electrification between Peninsular Malaysia's northern and southern borders. The long-distance electric rail network is undertaken by another division under the KTM umbrella, known as the KTM Electric Train Service, or ETS. Services operated by ETS are classified into 4 categories. Express, as the name suggests, has fewer limited stops. Platinum, with that little bit more stops. Gold, with selected stops. And Silver, with all stops. Only the first 2 categories have a business class cabin, and we're in the Platinum this morning. Passengers traveling in business class have access to the Ruby Lounge. But I have spent so much time trying to capture B-roll footage for this video, I totally forgot about our departure time. I was also distracted trying to decide on what snacks to buy for this train journey up north. So no, I did not get to experience what was that Ruby Lounge all about. Have you been in there before? Let me know in the comments. KTM ETS utilizes the Chinese-manufactured Class 93 CRRC Zhuzhou electric train. There were 2 batches ordered, and this one we're on today comes from the newer batch of trains designated as Class 93/2, which was delivered in 2020. Only the /2 series of trains feature a 1-car business class cabin configured in a 2x1. The rest of the train is laid out in a 2x2, designated as standard class. First impressions of this cabin is truly amazing. As a train which was delivered in 2020, of course it is modern, and it feels extremely plush with that thick carpeting on the cabin floor. The recline is up to 45 degrees, and I can see myself drifting off into a nap. There is an adjustable headrest, but what I wasn't expecting was a PTV. The user interface is web-based, and the content within are plentiful. Being web-based, this program is also at the mercy of mobile data reception, which means there are certain portions of this journey passing through the thick jungle when the reception fails to pick up any signal between cell towers. That's when the program you're watching will freeze and buffer, and the people on the screen standing still with their eyes half closed and mouth wide open. The seat pitch is pretty similar to what you would find on a narrow-body business class flight with recliners. It's got a spring-loaded footrest to place your feet when you're reclined, which enhances the comfort. Charging ports are found on the walls next to the window or in between seats. They aren't universal though, so make sure you have an adapter close by. Seat pocket contents include a safety card and instructions on how to use your personal TV screens. Look, I'm really nitpicking here. This table was very plasticky, and it's the only cheapo looking thing in what was an overall modern cabin which was very well thought out. On the dot at 8:05 AM, we smoothly pulled away from a standstill, bidding farewell to KL Central Station as we made our way up north. This journey will cover just under 360 kilometers, which will take 4 hours 5 minutes to complete. We would stop at the following stations: Kuala Lumpur, Sungai Buloh, Tanjung Malim, Kampar, Batu Gajah, Ipoh, Kuala Kangsar, Taiping, Paribunta, and finally Bukit Batajam before we arrive at Butterworth Station, where this train journey will conclude, because it is the terminating station for this line we're on. Our first stop today was only 5 minutes away. We were headed there so slowly, it almost felt like we were just as fast as nuns riding on bicycles. This is Kuala Lumpur Station. It was opened in 1917 and its facade is heritage protected today, as a showcase of the architectural language of Malaysia at that time. A mixture of Anglo and Neo Moorish styles is reminiscent of several other similar landmarks in Kuala Lumpur constructed around the same period. Kuala Lumpur Station took on the role of the capital's main railway station for decades, and it was naturally expanded and modernized over its lifetime to keep up with progress. Following the opening of KL Sentral in 2001, most rail activity moved away, and Kuala Lumpur Station today remains a shadow of its former self, with large parts of the structure converted to offices and even housing the abandoned Heritage Railway Hotel. Presently, besides the ETS train we're on, only one other suburban commuter line runs through this station, leaving most of the platforms here unused, which is a sad reminder of what used to be. The next station we stopped at wasn't too far away either. Departing Sungai Buloh Station, the journey to the next stop took a bit of time, so this portion of the journey marked the appearance of train attendants coming down the aisle with a trolley, giving us a drink service complete with a snack box. The pace of service was relaxed, friendly, and personable, underscoring the natural service culture of Malaysia. I drink tea, lots of it. I drink so many cups a day, I'm surprised I'm not peeing tea. But sipping on this luscious golden nectar while on a train on holiday brings this experience of relaxation to another level. Handed to us by those friendly hosties were a packet of breakfast muffin and this smartly packed snack box. The contents within had a packet of salted nuts. It's Malaysia. Of course there's salted nuts. And then there is this pair of headphones to be plugged into the PTV, although the sound quality isn't the best, but it'll do for this journey. And a box of ultra-sweet Tetra Pak mango juice, which would spell a death sentence for diabetics. I'd say overall, the contents were very agreeable. I really did not need to buy any snacks at the station before boarding, since we were so well catered for. I'm really not that into muffins, but it's clear that this man next to me was enjoying it a lot more. I did not know it then, but we were going to be fed some more as the journey went along. These Class 93 trains are classified as higher speed rail. While not exactly high speed per se, they're not as slow as the diesel rolling stock which came before them. Malaysia's electric rail network runs on narrow gauge tracks, and these trains are rated at a maximum speed of 160 km per hour. On our service this morning, we reached a maximum of around the 140 mark. Once the southern electrified tracks go into service at the end of 2025, KTM ETS will have the honor of operating the world's fastest and longest narrow gauge tracks. This is the town of Tanjung Malim, a border town which marks the first stop in the state of Perak, after we left the state of Selangor. As we move on from here, I start digging into the Malaysian snacks I bought earlier on. There is this steamed layered cake known as kueh lapis, which is made from tapioca flour, which gives it that stretchy, bouncy texture. This mixture is flavored with coconut milk and pandan leaves, which makes it so fragrant. And then there is this sticky rice wrapped in banana leaves, known as pulut panggang, which has been grilled very slowly over a bed of charcoal. The overall smokiness of this delicious treat holds a pleasant surprise within, which is a spicy toasted coconut with dried shrimp, which has a savory chili kick to it. Man, this is why I absolutely love traveling in this part of the world. There's really no such thing as a diet. Speaking of which, we're now pulling into one of the most popular foodie destinations in all of Malaysia. Welcome to Ipoh. The significance of Ipoh was elevated in the 1880s after the discovery of huge tin deposits. What was then a sleepy village in the jungle, the British went on to transform it into a mining administrative centre to support the operations, which explains a large number of colonial facades located in the town centre, which are all heritage protected. This protection covers this railway station as well, which was constructed in 1917 to replace an earlier station of the same purpose. International tourism has been booming in recent times due to its history and its popular night markets, underscoring Ipoh as a rich historical destination and a foodie paradise. By the way, in case you're curious, here is a peek into the standard class cabin after we left Ipoh. It's obviously not as spacious as the business cabin, but it still looks like a decent way to travel if you aren't too pressed for time. There's slightly over an hour and a half left to our journey time at this point. This was a cue for the lovely attendants to poof and make an appearance again with the meal trolleys. The difference is this time, the meals were slightly more substantial than the last one. There is only one option. So if your sensitive tummy cannot take this fiery looking nasi lemak, just too bad. Perhaps go munch on some slices of cucumber or something. That onion chili sambal looks fierce. And there is a side of chicken rendang, rounded off with this fragrant rice which has been cooked in coconut milk. Nasi lemak is always accompanied by peanuts and fried anchovies. Hubby was amused that he could still see the eyes of the dead pieces of fish in his hands. Man, if only I could describe the aroma wafting through the train cabin when this footage was filmed. With the crack of every meal box, the delicious cloud of nasi lemak essence was released into the atmosphere, pretty much like spray cans being used in the aircraft before landing in Australia. This lunch was definitely mouth-watering. Our view after lunch was also beautiful as we crossed Tasik Bukit Merah, which is Malaysia's first man-made lake built in 1906. This railway crossing is a highlight for spectators along the shore, because when viewed from there, it seems like the train is floating across the lake. Before we can even blink, we had crossed into the state of Penang, and here we are, pulling away from Bukit Mertajam station for our final sector towards Butterworth station. The rail segment of this journey is drawing to a close. As we cross the Perai River, we can see Penang Island across the straits. The state of Penang has two parts to it. We're on the mainland as we pull into Butterworth station at 12:06, 4 minutes early, where this train will terminate. This station is also a dead end for this West Coast rail line. As we step into the humidity once again, I reckon 99.99% of the passengers on this train are like us this afternoon, heading for the island where all the touristy action happens.
Alright, now that we've scanned ourselves out, the next step is to take the ferry to Penang. And that's where majority of the people who are getting off this train are heading to.
Experiencing multiple transport options on one single journey is always interesting. Since majority of rail passengers are destined for Penang Island, the transport authorities have made the connection very seamless between the train station and ferry terminal, which is just a couple of minutes walk. There is a ferry leaving every 10 to 15 minutes, which takes you on a relaxing 15 minutes ride towards Georgetown in Penang Island.
The train station is just very conveniently located just next to the ferry terminal, and they are connected with covered walkways. So after you get the ferry ticket, it's 2 ringgit per passenger. You get on this, and the view of Penang Island and what awaits you over there. Very nice.
So there you have it. Our entire journey from Kuala Lumpur to Penang on a relaxing train ride, culminating into this beautiful ferry to conclude. I am a proud drum-beating advocate for train journeys, especially when it involves a city centre to city centre commute, which is convenience personified. We quite literally rolled out of our hotel at KL Sentral, crossed the road, and we were on the train up till this point, in air-conditioned comfort, awesome seats which are plush, and we were fed very well, being looked after by the attendants who were warm and hospitable. This fare in business class was 161 Malaysian ringgit per person, and I would very gladly do it all again in a heartbeat. Would you take the train instead of flying the next time you're in Malaysia? Let me know in the comments because I'm pretty eager to hear your thoughts. For now, let's join live Ryan as he arrives into Penang Island to wrap this video up.
Well guys, so that was our journey from KL Sentral on the train to Butterworth and then the ferry crossing, and we are now officially on Penang Island. So what a journey that was. Have you done this before? Let me know in the comments, and yeah. For now, I've chucked details of my Instagram on your screen right now, so hit me up there, chuck me a follow so you can come along with me on my travels in real time. Of course, do not forget to hit subscribe and the bell notification icon, and I will see you for my next video right here on Penang. See you guys around, guys. Bye.